There's nothing more satisfying than cooking your own delicious meal.
Molly Riehl is getting a little lesson in the kitchen with a few friends this morning. Hi, Molly.
Hello. Yes, so what I'm about to do might look a little bit goofy, but there's actually a pretty good message behind it. Does this scare you? It scares me to think with no vision that I could be chopping something.
Right.
It's a little bit scary, but you know what? It's a reality for a lot of people in this room. We're at the Society for the Blind sitting in one of their classes at the Teaching Kitchen. This is part of the Senior Impact Program that teaches seniors how to continue their independence, and so much of that involves, you know, being able to cook for yourself. So Deborah, this is the knife safety skills class, and it all starts with learning the sharp side of the knife.
That's correct. Wanda, may I borrow your knife?
Yes, you may.
So what we teach our students is, if you have a good knife, most knives have this, there is a groove at the hilt of the knife. That groove tells you that's the sharp edge of the knife. The blunt edge is straight across the top. So when you find that groove where your thumb goes, that is the sharp edge of the knife.
Okay.
We always place the knife in the safe zone, so you always know where it is, 12 o'clock above your cutting board or wherever you're cutting. Yeah. And that's how they determine what's the sharp edge of a knife.
And for those of you in the class today, I'll let you start chopping if you want to kind of show off the skills that you have learned. So Deborah, you were saying, so you're the head instructor, and then we have Dan here, who is a mentor. He was a baker for 40 years, lots of experience, and you two have different ways of teaching knife skills, which offers, you know, a variety of options for those who are using them.
Correct. I like to offer them a different way of cutting, and then also explain to them, if my way doesn't work, if Dan's way doesn't feel comfortable to them, you've been cooking for years. Use what feels safe to you. That's the most important thing.
So Dan, I wanted you to be able to show off your way, so I'll have you chop. I'll hold the mic up to you while you're talking.
Oh, okay. Now, I would like to start off that one of the things I've always liked to explain is when the knife is placed on the table, the blade is facing in. And the reason for that is because you're reaching, as someone who's visually impaired, you want to reach for the outside, so that way you don't accidentally grab the sharp edge. What I tend to do is I explain about the hands being the guard. So the fingers are wrapped around the thumb, so the thumb is protected. And you put it on top, and so what happens, the knife is up against your fingers. And this way, and I always tend to tell people to keep the point. So in other words, it won't slip as you're cutting. You have, both hands are in control. So for example, in cutting this onion here.
There you go. Such an important life skill, Dan. Thank you so much for showing us that. The Teaching Kitchen here, this is just one of so many opportunities offered here at Society for the Blind for free to the students. And of course, all because of donations and people who want to help, volunteers. But just incredible. Again, you know, as I was putting these shades on at the beginning, I know it did look a little bit goofy, but it is such an important message, the independence that you are all gaining or continuing in your lives through these classes, and just so impressive. Look at those. You are doing an incredible job. So I am going to stay here and continue to be amazed by them, and we will send it back to you in the studio.
I got to tell you, we got an email from Peggy and Arnold, who said that Society for the Blind was instrumental for her as she was losing her vision. She also took these classes, and she said it was incredible, and she's so grateful that we're doing the story today. So thank you to you, Molly, for being out there.
Well, thank you to Peggy for sharing that, and that just warms my heart. But of course, again, so much good happens here today. So very grateful that Society for the Blind is here to help.
Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, Molly.